All right. Hello and welcome to Cooldown, a live stream podcast from the guys at Overheat. My name's Ewan.
And I'm Javier.
And this is our first episode. I'm really excited about this. I cannot believe it's actually here.
No, you know what? I was actually quite nervous, to be honest. It's weird being in front of the camera. We were literally just talking just before we said, keep your eyes on the camera. And we're like, I'm still wondering where the camera is, to be honest. But Ewan, I want to ask, why are we doing a podcast in the first place?
So we thought, well, obviously gaming's a very wide industry. We can't cover everything. We already have the website, we have the magazine, we have a lot. But this is kind of like an extension to the Overheat brand where we can talk about issues and key things that our audience cares about. We're going to have guests on and we're just going to able to really delve into things much deeper than maybe we can do in just an article, something like that.
Yeah, and it sort of gives a sense of personality as well. You know, at the end of the day, we are journalists, but we also are people. So hopefully you enjoy it. Obviously, I think the first thing is we should probably talk about our setup.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks to our lovely podcast production manager, Timothy. We've got a pretty great setup. We've got 2 mics, Rode mics. We've got a camera.
Well, before anything, I was going to ask, what is that?
I don't actually know.
I've been wondering since sitting here.
Did you put that there?
I did not. Did you? It was you. Right.
Our production manager's nodding.
Oh fuck. Right. Tim, what is this? Figurine. Right. Back to the. Right.
Javier, we've been live for 5 minutes.
I won't touch.
Obviously, gaming is a really wide industry, so as well as us, we need to talk about what's going on in the gaming world. Kind of like current affairs that may be affecting the industry. And I mean, have you seen Hellblade 2 has launched today?
I have, and it's on Game Pass, right?
Yes, it is. So if you're on Xbox and have Game Pass, you get access to it. I say free, but obviously you pay for the subscription, so you do get access to it, which is great.
The thing is, I don't even know what Hellblade is, right? What is it?
So I played a little bit of the first Hellblade. I've never played it like all the way through, but I believe it's a action adventure game from developer Ninja Theory, and it kind of delves into this. It's set in like a kind of Nordic-inspired world.
Is it high budget or not?
It looks really good. Like the graphics look super high budget. I'm pretty sure it's from an independent developer. Well, Ninja Theory. They're
like indie.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not overly long. It's like a 10-hour game, I think, around that. And you go on a journey to kind of save the main character's loved one from the goddess Hela. It received really good reviews. It got like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10s. And yeah, its second one's just come out. It's delving a lot more. So the main character has psychosis, so it's dealing with the mental health stuff.
We love that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the actress won BAFTAs for kind of her performance as well.
Also, a female actress maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's doing really well. I've seen some reviews already, and again, similar to the first one, it's a lot more combat orientated as well. This one, they actually said that, so in the first one, they spent 2 days filming combat training with like motion capture. The second one, they spent 69 days filming. So they,
Sorry.
so they really, yeah, drink, you dirty animal. So they really delved into the combat a lot more, which is going to be exciting. So I think I'm going to check it out on stream tomorrow. Same place, so if you're watching this now, you can watch me play Hellblade 2 tomorrow on stream, which is pretty exciting. Any other launches that you know about?
Well, today is the day of the Call of Duty killer X Defiance, so this has just came out by Ubisoft. Did you ever get the chance to play the beta?
I did not. No. What platforms is it on?
So it's currently only on next gen right now, but it's very fluid. You know what? The first thing I noticed is when you play the new Call of Duty, the recoil. Can hate. That's what probably put me off Call of Duty,
Really?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I've never been a shooter person myself. I just.
FPS.
I mean, I love Apex. That's been the only one that's kind of really got me into FPSs and battle royales, but I never got into like Warzone or anything like that. So, what's special about X Defiance?
I think it's the fact that there's no skill-based matchmaking. It brings you back to the old school ways. When you're like a kid, you play Call of Duty and stuff. They were never really ranked game sessions and all that. I don't know, like, it looks fun, but the game is published by Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And Ubisoft's sort of like, they get the job done at like the bare minimum. They go for like the 2-2s and all that. I don't know.
The 2-2. They're the 2-2s of the gaming industry.
They are the 2-2s of the gaming industry.
I have such a love-hate relationship with Ubisoft because I feel like my childhood was so defined by their games, like the early Assassin's Creed.
Probably the biggest company when I was growing up.
They were huge.
What was it, AC2, and then bloody hell, like the whole Ezio trilogy.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Revelations was my first Ubisoft game. Loved it. Played it loads. Far Cry series, love Far Cry. Far Cry 5.
Probably one of the best villains. I didn't like the ending, but
I've never actually played Far Cry 3 from start to finish, but I love Far Cry 5. The
whole church.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I've got a statue in my room actually.
Six. I didn't like 6.
No, I also didn't like 6. This is what I mean. I feel like Ubisoft had started to do such a fall from grace.
You know what it is? It's the same format where I feel like they make this overdeveloped world, but it's a lack of content. Like I was playing Valhalla, last year. It took me ages and ages. It felt like it was always so unnecessary. It's like, oh, another plot of land. Okay, that's a raid. We'll put it there. Oh, you see that mountain? Oh, you can synchronize up there. And I thought, what's the point? Oh, we're live.
Live?
Alright, well, good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah, hello, we made it.
Right, so, why Overheat?
Great question. So, we felt that we were necessary because, let's face it, gaming journalism isn't the best. No offense to any gaming
it's slowly dying, but it's getting a comeback.
You say that, but you did a story yesterday to prove kind of gaming journalism maybe isn't the best.
No.
What was the story? The IGN and...
Oh, the whole Kaiser Nat situation.
Have you seen that? Well, obviously you've seen it.
I have seen that. The whole negative reputation, but it's weird because...
Sorry, just giving up. Technical producer's phone.
Yeah, don't know what you got on that. But no, seriously, Sorry. No, so it's weird because IGN's a gaming outlet themselves, yet they're slandering another content creator.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that's right.
No, I think, it's a bit of we should be, as creators together as one.
Well, I think it's the worst part about it is like it had no relevance to any of the situation. It's not good.
So I think that situation kind of went to prove, if people don't know, they kind of associated a stream that Kai Snat had done on Elden Ring with sort of kind of negative connotations from his past, things that he'd done that really had no relevance.
Oh, that was nearly a career ending. It's like sort of bring up the PewDiePie incident, right? If he won like an award, and essentially it wasn't an award. He even got thanked by the publishers.
So from Software, did they?
No, not from Software. Bandai.
Wow.
No. But I've been having this theory, and I believe that, you're seeing Elden Ring getting streamed, and now Aiden Ross is doing 100 hours of stream. I believe that. I reckon they're paying them. Do you think that?
Do you think? I don't know. I feel like, this game not just really popular?
Yeah, but it's 1 month to go to the DLC. Like, why out of nowhere is everyone playing Elden Ring? You know what I mean? Obviously, the hype for the Elden Tree looks insane, but still, it's sort of everyone's getting on it. My flatmate's been getting on it. I've been playing lately.
Yeah, I need to start playing it maybe because my flatmate.
Have you ever played Souls-like game?
No, because I really don't like having to kind of grind out a boss and learn movesets. The hardest game difficulty I've ever played was finishing God of War and doing the Valkyries, which but that was the hardest for me.
I feel like with Elden Ring, it's just a eat, sleep, repeat situation. You got to learn from your mistakes. Like the amount of times you have to research their movesets, it's without a doubt. Obviously, it's known as cheesing. You know what cheesing is? Yeah. No, there's some funny ones you can do in Elden Ring. You can aim a bow, like pretty much snipe, and they randomly just jump off, and you're thinking, easy money. But
you can do that in Dragon's Dogma 2 as well. You can cheese a lot. It's like with the really big things, they'll go to cross like bridges, and if you get them to walk on, they'll just fall and die.
Does that cost like a £2 expansion?
It does not, surprisingly at this point. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. What is Overheat? So we are attempting to be, better than everything we've just said. We want to be honest.
We want to prioritise the community as well.
Yeah, we're prioritising community and focusing on the community. So indie developers, content creators, small content creators, not just the largest. Like we're focusing on, not to be cliche, but we're focusing on the little guy. You know what I mean?
No, and someone has to, right? Because they're the next generation of gamers, and that's what we are. I've
been a small streamer, and I know what that's like. And A lot of platforms only do cater to the largest audiences. So.
And it's understandable that way, you know. Like if you like a McDonald's, you go to your usual chain, then you're independent, right? But you've got to support the little guy. You've got to support the locals, because these are going to be the people, you know, influencing, you know, maybe your kids in the future. You don't know, right?
For sure. You never know when someone's going to blow up.
Exactly.
So
it only takes like one video, right? That's the analytics.
Yeah, and I mean the other part of it is the health side, isn't it? It's kind of, we're helping gamers to learn how they can help themselves.
Gaming, kind of yeah, because you learn in schools. I don't know about you when you were younger. Your mum, your dad, they used to be like, "Oh, games ruin your life. You'll get nowhere with video games." But the careers that are happening right now,
careers have really widened.
And I interviewed this guy who's established like his own like esports event that target people who have bad mental health, bring them into esports, you know, build their confidence up. And he was saying how, you know, he has like this daughter, and she may have a job that doesn't even exist yet, right? Yeah. It's crazy, because gaming can teach you so much problem-solving skills. Like, I don't know if you've ever played all the story games, God of War, Legends of Zelda. It's all problem-solving, you know.
For sure, and it gives you so many skills as well. But even like online games, for the most part, like my social skills are way better than they used to be, thanks to video games.
Well, you can tell, like, you've been on camera before, I haven't. You can tell who's the more confident speaker. But I feel like the more
You're doing great.
Thank you. But literally, like, it's stream and everything like that, it builds you as a person, you know. And obviously it's important to go outside and everything, right? But we as Overheat, we're trying to, you know, stop the stereotype of gaming is bad and really look at the positives, right?
And make sure that people know that gaming has so much out there for everyone. You know?
No, exactly right.
I recently, at Christmas, speaking of like parents, I played A Way Out with my stepdad, and he's never really played a video game like that before, and he really enjoyed it, and he just enjoyed that social aspect, and it was really nice seeing it. It was a reminder of why we do this, because, you know, gaming is for everyone.
No, exactly.
And it's important that everyone has a place where they can go to, and that's what we want Overheat to be.
And we also look at the sort of concerns in the industry. Like, I interviewed a trans woman who believes the IT industry is very male dominated, and what are we going to do about that? Well, they need a platform, and that's what we're providing them with, right? They need a voice, and we can be that voice for them. So.
And that's the aim, and I guess that's mixing what journalism should be and what gaming means for everyone.
Well, yeah, like the whole IGN situation, we're going a bit backwards, but it's relevant. It's the fact that, how can you stand another one of your community members? You know what I mean? We're all a community. We should all try to work together, put a voice on, because gaming, every kid's going to YouTube now, then these streaming services and everything.
It's very powerful as an influencing tool as well.
No, exactly.
So, I mean, as you said, like, kids are also, as well as the kids will be the future content creators, what content creators do will influence not just kids, but like society in general.
Yeah,
which is
and we
why
need
it's
to
so
be
important
role models for the next generation, the gamers, no matter what.
Wow, we just got really deep.
Usually I'm the goofy one, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Gamers in power.
Gamers in power.
Gamers in power. Yeah. But can you tell us, Ewan, what are we expected for the next coming podcasts?
Yeah, so we have got some amazing guests coming in. So Thursday is the next episode, and we're going to be talking with the Joe who created Press Start, which is a charity based in Sheffield, where we are based, and they create real life sort of events for people to go and socialise together and play games. And we're going to be talking about the importance of events like that and why non-profits in gaming are so important as well. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
Exactly, and we've got one coming up in, I believe, the 30th. You heard earlier I mentioned about a trans woman, that is Isabella Santine. She developed her own IT software program called Chosen Few Software, and her whole point is to represent the LGBTQ community. You know, give them a platform, and we can do that for them.
And that's so exciting. I think that will be such an interesting sort of dynamic to have on the podcast as well, which I'm really looking forward to.
Well, yeah, I learned a lot myself. You know, I'm not really educated on that aspect. You know, it's something I've never really been interested in. But since I've met her, you know, I thought, you know what, there needs to be more of a say in, and I'm happy that we've been given this opportunity to do that.
Sure, whatever we can do to help, we absolutely will do. I think it's time for some questions from the audience.
I believe so. Have we got any questions, Tim?
If anyone does have any questions, we'll give it sort of a minute or two for people to put some questions in.
Timothy, write a question and we will answer.
Yeah. If there's anything Timothy's ever wanted to know,
is there anything, Tim?
We'll answer that.
Anything you wanted to know, Tim?
Timothy's like, I know you all so well.
Yeah.
We've been working together for a year now.
There's a question I want to ask you, Ewan.
Yes.
You know, where do you see yourself after Overheat then?
Great question. In Bulgaria. I'm going on holiday with Alex, actually. And I see myself going and spending 2 weeks in Bulgaria and enjoying a bit of relaxation.
Yeah.
Then after that, I don't know. The world's kind of my oyster. I think I want to do a bit more content creation because I've really enjoyed this side of it again. And I want to do I kind of for a while lost my love for gaming a little bit, and I really want to kind of try and refine that, and Baldur's Gate 3 really helped do that, because there was a while where I felt that I was just playing the same thing. So, you know, it's about finding kind of the games that really sort of impact me. So I'm looking forward to doing that. What about you?
That's the thing, I'm not too sure yet. Obviously, what Overheat has provided us with is a platform, and it's given me that experience. Because, you know, it's game journalism, something I've always wanted to do, and we haven't really had the opportunity at university until now. And it was, I've really enjoyed it. You know, my confidence has gone up. I'm learning more about the behind the scenes of the gaming community, and there's so much to unwind, right?
Honestly, it's been interesting, like how much there is to unpack.
No,
like
exactly.
Even with that conversation we had like just 5 minutes ago, there's so much to talk about with gaming that just doesn't get talked about, and that's what I've really enjoyed about this.
No, and I totally understand it. It is a dying industry. Let's be honest. Like,
dying one.
Well, no, dying industry in the journalism side.
Oh right.
So
I was like, the gaming industry.
No,
definitely
especially in the UK now. Pandemic, everyone's playing. Like 90% of people play video games, and I think that's a really key figure to understand that.
Absolutely. And I think we have a question.
We do.
How did you feel after covering WASD on the way back to Sheffield? Tired. I was really, 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 really tired.
I wasn't feeling too well that day either, you know. So we were.
Why was that, Javier?
Well, I was just a bit ill, so we just felt. Basically, I had no, I'm joking. So no, I wasn't feeling too well. I was sitting on the coach, and Ewan's put me in a very hard spot. No, it's all good. But
well, why were you feeling?
I had stomach cramps, because I decided. So we before anything, we'll rewind. We all got along because, bearing in mind how Overheat was created, we were all just people on our course, right? 8 of us. We've never really spoken apart from you and Alex, right? You two are like really close. So we got our friendships were crazy, right? We built a really strong friendship, and we decided to go for what was it? Vietnamese, right?
Pho.
So we went to Pho. And we got there, and you know, I like my spice, right? So, you know, I had a bit of spice into
a bit of spice.
I added a lot of spice, and
the plate was drowning in chili flakes. I don't think I've ever seen that many chili flakes on one bowl.
No, and next thing, a few hours later, I had a call from the Vietnamese, aka my stomach, and oh my gosh, the next day, it was a bad day in my books. But apart from that, it was tiring. Really enjoyed it, but 23 hours is quite a while.
It was a long day, but interestingly, I didn't really feel the tiredness until I got home and went into bed, and then was like, my eyes cannot stay.
I think we were just like, we were so I don't know, optimistic about it. We were confident from the get-go. Obviously, there's always going to be a bit of nerves, you know. This was our first time going to like one of these press concerts, whatever.
We had press passes too.
We had press passes. We did. We had press passes, went to the press lounge. That's also where Ewan met Jennifer English.
It was the weirdest because
it was weird.
We saw her when Alex pointed her out when we first walked in and was like, "Oh my god, I think that's Shadowheart's voice actress." And I went, "Really?"
Yeah.
And then we didn't think much of it. Besides, we should really try and interview her because that would be amazing. And then we get through the rest of the day. We've been really productive. We spoke to loads of people, and we sat in the press lounge. And I'm just like, got a cup of coffee actually because they didn't have tea. Sat there, and then Alex just went, "Is he right there?" And I was like, oh my god.
Context-wise, Ewan taps me on the shoulder and he says, "That's Jennifer English." And I go, "Who?" Respectfully, Jenna, I didn't know you were at the time, but he explained that's the voice actress of Shadowheart, who is the most popular love interest character of last year from the biggest game of last year, right? Mm-hmm. And Ewan...
I was nervous.
He was nervous.
I'm not afraid to... I was very nervous. It was one of those things where I was like, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 last night, and now one of the characters is right next to me. And I guess when I meet anyone who's like even slightly famous, I kind of just climb up and like, wow, this is a really important thing.
So I saw Ewan was a bit nervous, and you could tell she was getting ready to leave with her group. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to her, and he was like, no. Just have it. It's fine. And I was like, oh. I went over and I said, hi Jen, a big fan. Shook her hand and stuff, and she had like a PR team with them. They were lovely, but you can tell like because they're their PR team when you do an interview. And I thought, no, literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes, come over. Ewan, you did a good job, to be fair.
Thank you.
So we had to, obviously it couldn't be a recorded interview, unfortunately. We did record it off a Tascam. And could you give us some insight what we're looking forward to into?
Well, we spoke about, as I said, we spoke about motion capture. We spoke about kind of how she kind of met her girlfriend through Baldur's Gate 3 and kind of the work they did and how many hours it takes and how to also kind of not just become a voice actor or actress, but also just become an actor and actress, because those lines are definitely getting more and more blurred, especially with Baldur's Gate 3. So it was interesting to talk about that as well. So it was a really interesting interview. So you can watch that. You can read that in the Trailblazers magazine, which is coming sometime in the next week.
Yeah, we had to pitch our ideas. We had to say why we're Overheat, what we were a brand. And I remember our lecturers, one of them wanted it to be like a board game one, didn't they?
Well, that was one of the angles we could have taken, yeah.
But we had to explain that, no, we are a brand that can represent this community. And the fact that we're trying to focus on indie development more than AAA games really says something about ourselves, doesn't it?
For sure. And I think it was really interesting seeing the start of the process as well, and kind of how this whole thing works, I guess, because I don't know about you, but I never, again, similar to the behind the scenes of the gaming industry, I didn't know the behind the scenes of, right, now we've got to kind of do a mood board, we've got to do a business plan, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to think about this, what are our values? And it was just really interesting to kind of sit down, just 8 people, as Javier said, who hadn't met, and just bring something together. And I'm really proud of what we've done so far.
It's weird because I feel like, respectively, we wouldn't have ever like gotten to know each other if it wasn't for this brand, and I feel like we've built quite a strong family.
For sure.
At the end of it.
Yeah, and like to be able to go organising anything with 8 people is really hard. But to organise a 23-hour day in a different city, where you have a great time, even though that you are all really exhausted, says something about this kind of group.
It just shows how powerful gaming is. It's more than just a tool, right?
But it brought us all together, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly, and it was brilliant. It was something we had to do. Any more questions? Is the website still in development?
It has been launched. We are still doing tweaks. We're still working on it. We're still slowly adding new features and things. I think there's a podcast page coming.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Various different things, but every day it will start to really, continue to come on. It's already looking amazing, so go check it out if you haven't already. You can read some really incredible stories already out. We talk about, I did a story on kind of Baldur's Gate, speaking of Baldur's Gate, Larian, they've got a new studio opening up in Warsaw. What's the other good stories can you think of? What did you do?
So obviously we've got mental health, bringing kids into esports. That's one article I wrote. Won't give too much away, but it's a very strong article, very empowering. We recently uploaded one today of Archie Crampton, who's this 19-year-old university student, and essentially he built this game that 50% of the revenue goes to this charity.
Oh, wow.
One of the co-owners has been attending this hospital all his life, and there's a way to give back to the community.
That's awesome.
It's really powerful, it is, and looking forward to it. It should have been uploaded hopefully today. So
you sent it off, didn't you?
Yeah, if you get yourself a read, please enjoy.
So there's loads of really good pieces out there, and our main content pillars on the website. So we've got content creation, Indie Zone, which is developer. We've got Health Point, which is about sort of like the mental health aspect and kind of things along that side.
Clip as well, which is more focusing on developers outside of the UK or content creators.
Or stories, gaming stories,
Yeah, so we recently, obviously, we went to WAS, we interviewed Yogscast Games members. You remember Yogscast back in the day?
I do, I used to really, really love them.
Yeah, I know. 7 million subscribers, they still got, but...
That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people.
But now we were just learning about the game development behind, which is only recently, only started a few years ago,
Yeah. So it's still going and it's still growing. So definitely head over and check it out. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
What else will you do on YouTube? Great question. So we're currently doing another Crab's Treasure. We're currently brainstorming a lot of ideas. I know we've talked a lot about WAS today. We're gonna post a WAS video at some point.
Yeah, we're gonna start editing soon, but essentially we're doing a crab story, like you said. We're not sure where to go from there. Do you have any ideas?
I think someone actually commented on the video and said, "Are you taking requests?" And I think we absolutely are.
Yeah, we'd love to, because at the end of the day, we're doing this for you guys, right?
Yeah. We're also, any streams that you missed on Twitch will be re-uploaded to YouTube, as well as Cooldown podcasts, so you can check that out there as well. I think we're gonna kind of mix it up. We might do some like Apex streams or some like FPS multiplayer stuff with other members of the team to kind of bring them into that sort of field of it. But no, so I'm really looking forward to all this sort of different things that we can do. I think it's the freedom, with YouTube.
It's very fluid, isn't it? You know, you can edit a video on anything, and because it's gaming, it's so diverse. It's not really a niche, right?
Well, you want to do D&D, don't you?
Yeah, we thought about doing Dungeons and Dragons. So obviously, Ewan said I've been playing a bit of Baldur's Gate, and I've been enjoying it. And that's based off. Is it Baldur's Gate 5? No, D&D 5 or something.
D&D 5e,
5e, of
which is the version. Silly Javier.
I'm sorry, I should have known. But no, I'd love to play it. Ewan is a D&D player himself.
I am. Yeah.
So something
with
I want to
Alex.
introduce myself to. And there's a certain character I like. He owns. It's like a little genie, right?
So when we filmed another Crab's Tale, we've got all my D&D stuff set up still on the table, and he was like looking at all kind of the minis and stuff that we have, and he was like, I want to be that one. And I was like, that's the shopkeeper in my world. And he was like, I want to be that. And I was like, okay,
I'm gonna be the shopkeeper. You put on voices, but
you don't have to.
Well, you don't have to.
But no, that's another form of gaming, isn't it? At the end of the day,
it's a personality, isn't it? Gaming, I think. You've got cosplaying going on right now and everything like that.
Which Timothy did a great cosplay. You can see it on all of our socials. Put a load of effort in.